The massive alien ship hung silently above Earth, its scanners sweeping across the quiet planet below. Inside the ship, head researcher Tom adjusted his instruments and frowned at the readings. Something was different about this world, something that didn't match any known patterns of civilization death. No signs of war, he muttered to himself, recording his findings. No nuclear winter, no plague aftermath, just silence. The blue planet below showed signs of advanced development, but every city, every installation, every facility appeared to be in perfect condition, just completely empty of life. The survey team had expected to find another dead world. Instead, they found a mystery. Their scans revealed billions of humans, all perfectly preserved in underground facilities. Each one was sealed in strange crystal chambers that pulsed with energy patterns their instruments couldn't fully understand. Tom brought his findings to the Federation Council. The giant meeting chamber buzzed with nervous energy as he presented his data. They did this to themselves, he explained, pointing to recovered records. About 200 years ago, the entire human race simply went to sleep. The council members shifted uncomfortably. One of them, an elder with deep blue skin, spoke up. But why? What could make an entire species choose hibernation? Their records mention a coming disaster, Tom replied. But here's the strange part. We can find no evidence of any cosmic catastrophe from that time period. He paused, bringing up new data. And their technology. It's far more advanced than we initially thought. These aren't simple cryopods. They're quantum chambers, somehow linking their minds together even in sleep. Warning signals flashed across the chamber walls. More council members joined the discussion, their voices growing louder. We've seen warnings, another elder said. Ancient messages carved into asteroids, coded into radio signals from dead civilizations. They all say the same thing. Never wake the humans. Tom nodded. Yes, but think of what we could learn. Their technology, their knowledge. He brought up more scans. And look at these energy readings. They're not just preserving these humans, they're changing them. 200 years of linked minds, processing, evolving. The council debated for hours. Fear wrestled with curiosity. The warnings were clear, written across 1,000 worlds. Leave Earth alone. But the potential knowledge, the technological advances they could gain. Finally, they reached a decision. We will wake a small group, the head council member announced, for research purposes only. A controlled experiment. Tom selected a military commander and a scientist for the first awakening. Simple enough to manage, safe enough to study. He prepared the equipment, confident in their technologies and protocols. After all, how dangerous could a few newly awakened humans be? As his team approached the first quantum chamber, none of them noticed the subtle changes in Earth's atmosphere. Deep beneath the surface, ancient systems began to hum. In orbit, hidden satellites shifted their positions ever so slightly. And in the linked dreams of billions of sleeping humans, a simple message began to spread. They're here, just as we planned, just as we waited for. The Federation was about to learn why some rules exist for very, very good reasons. The quantum chamber's crystal surface began to melt away like morning frost. James opened his eyes for the first time in 2 centuries, his mind surprisingly clear. Next to him, Kate was already sitting up, her eyes scanning the alien equipment surrounding them. Neither showed the confusion or fear the Federation scientists had expected. Vital signs normal. One alien researcher reported, sounding disappointed. No signs of cryo-sickness or mental degradation. Tom stood at the back, watching intently as his team ran their tests. Something felt off about these humans' reactions. They were too calm, too aware. "How are you feeling?" Tom asked, approaching them with what he hoped was a friendly gesture. James and Kate exchanged a quick glance that lasted a fraction of a second too long. "Rested," James replied simply. His eyes darted around the room, taking in every detail, every piece of equipment, every exit. "Very rested." Kate nodded in agreement, her fingers quietly tapping against her leg in what seemed like a random pattern. The Federation team didn't realize they were watching a conversation happen in real time. During their long sleep, humans had developed new ways to communicate. Subtle gestures, micro-expressions, and neural patterns that passed information faster than spoken words. Your species has been in stasis for approximately 200 Earth years, Tom explained, bringing up holographic displays of data. We're here to help you understand what's happened since then. James nodded, but his attention was on Kate's hands as she examined the alien technology. Her fingers traced circuits that shouldn't have been visible to human eyes. That night, in their carefully monitored quarters, James and Kate finally spoke out loud. "They think the neural network is dormant," Kate whispered, her words covered by the soft hum of alien machinery. "They haven't realized we're still connected to everyone else." James smiled. 200 years of shared dreams. 200 years of the entire human race thinking, planning, evolving together. He touched the wall, feeling the vibrations of the ship's engines. Their technology is exactly what we expected. Powerful, but predictable. In their sleep, humanity had done more than just survive. Their linked minds had processed centuries of shared knowledge, run countless simulations, and prepared for every possible future. The Federation thought they were studying two confused survivors. Instead, they were watching the first pieces of a very old plan fall into place. Deep in the ship's computer core, Kate's earlier touch had left behind microscopic changes. As James and Kate pretended to sleep, those changes spread through the ship's systems like ripples in a pond. Every scan, every test, every bit of data the Federation collected was subtly altered. "Wake the others," James subvocalized, the message traveling through the quantum link to the sleeping billions below. "Just like we practiced. Slowly, quietly. Let them think they're in control." In their quarters, Federation monitors showed two humans sleeping peacefully. In reality, James and Kate were coordinating the awakening of 20 more humans, each one chosen centuries ago for this moment. Engineers, strategists, scientists, each one waking with 200 years of shared knowledge and preparation. The Federation had broken the universe's golden rule, but they still didn't understand what that rule was protecting. Not humanity, but everyone else. As the first stars began to fade from the ship's viewport, humanity's long plan was finally beginning to unfold. The Federation's mining ships descended through Earth's atmosphere, their massive frames casting shadows over sleeping cities. Mark watched from the observation deck, his face betraying no emotion as they began stripping resources from his homeworld. Next to him, Lisa analyzed the aliens' mining patterns on a borrowed datavat. "They're efficient," she noted quietly. "Been at it for months before they woke us." Her fingers danced across the screen, logging each extraction site. The Federation thought she was learning their technology. In truth, she was comparing their mining operations to humanity's centuries-old predictions. Tom entered the observation deck, his steps hesitant. The humans still unnerved him. 3 weeks of study had revealed nothing but more questions. They adapted to Federation technology too quickly, learned alien languages too easily. Even their physical abilities seemed to be improving daily. "We've detected unusual energy signatures," Tom said, trying to sound casual, "coming from the sleeping chambers." Mark turned to face him, and Tom felt that familiar chill. The human's eyes seemed to see right through him. "The stasis fields fluctuate sometimes," Mark replied with a shrug. "Normal maintenance cycles." The lie flowed easily, masking the truth. Those energy spikes were the first signs of the mass awakening to come. In the ship's engineering section, James and Kate had already compromised most of the critical systems, not through hacking or sabotage, but through perfect, legitimate access. They'd made themselves so useful, so helpful, that the Federation freely gave them the access they needed. Lisa's datapad chimed softly. "They found another deposit," she announced. "Rare earth elements, near the old Pacific base." The Federation crew didn't notice how her eyes narrowed slightly at the news. That site had been prepared centuries ago, filled with exactly the resources that would draw their attention. Deep underground, more humans were waking. Each one emerged with complete knowledge of the plan, their minds linked to the vast network of sleeping consciousness. The Federation's sensors detected nothing, their scans altered by subtle changes Mark had introduced into their calibration systems. "Your species is remarkable," Tom said, genuine admiration in his voice. "The way you've adapted to our presence, embraced our technology." He paused, studying Mark's reaction, almost as if you were prepared for us. Mark smiled. Life is full of surprises. Below them, a mining ship pulled another cache of minerals from the Earth. The Federation celebrated each discovery, never realizing they were following a trail laid down 2 centuries ago. In the quantum network, billions of sleeping minds processed the data Lisa gathered. Every Federation action, every decision, matched humanity's projections. The aliens' predictability would be almost disappointing if it hadn't been so crucial to the plan. "They still think this is about resources," Lisa whispered to Mark after Tom left. "They haven't even asked why we chose to sleep." She watched another mining ship descend through the clouds. They never wondered why a species advanced enough to build quantum consciousness networks would need to hide. The awakened humans continued their act, learning, adapting, pretending to be grateful specimens in the Federation's great experiment. And in the depths of Earth's oceans, in bunkers beneath mountains, and in hidden orbital platforms, humanity's true capabilities waited to be revealed. The first warning came as a slight tremor in the Federation ship's sensors. The alien crew dismissed it as a routine power fluctuation. The second warning appeared as a series of energy spikes across Earth's surface. This time, they couldn't ignore it. Multiple anomalies detected. A Federation technician reported, his fingers flying across holographic controls. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database. Tom rushed to the command center, his heart racing as he watched the readings climb exponentially. Kate stood in the corner, quietly observing the growing chaos. Through the quantum network, she felt the surge of billions of minds awakening simultaneously. The collection human consciousness, refined by centuries of shared dreams, began to stir. "The stasis chambers are activating," someone shouted. "All of them. Worldwide." Tom turned to Kate, hoping for an explanation, but she was already gone. Throughout the ship, the other awakened humans had also vanished from their assigned locations. James stood in Earth's primary control center, deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The facility had remained hidden from Federation scans, masked by technology they couldn't comprehend. With a simple gesture, he initiated the planetary defense grid's power-up sequence. Hidden cities began rising from the oceans. Mountains shifted, revealing massive installations. Orbital platforms, cloaked for centuries, shimmered into existence around the planet. The Federation fleet watched in stunned silence as Earth transformed before their eyes. 200 years, Kate's voice echoed through every Federation communication channel. 200 years of unified human consciousness, processing, planning, evolving. Did you think we were just sleeping? The fear in the alien crews was palpable now. They finally understood what the ancient warnings meant. In the quantum network, billions of human minds merged into a singular consciousness. Every person who woke knew their role, understood their purpose. 2 centuries of shared dreams had prepared them for this moment. The Federation's sensors overloaded as they tried to track the impossible levels of neural activity. "Your mining operations found exactly what we wanted you to find," Lisa announced from the Federation's flagship bridge, appearing seemingly from nowhere. "Every resource deposit, every discovery, we led you to them, piece by piece." The Federation crew stared at their instruments in disbelief as Earth's true defense capabilities came online. Massive energy shields enveloped the planet, their technology far beyond anything the Federation possessed. Orbital defense platforms activated, their weapons making the Federation fleet's best armaments look primitive in comparison. "We didn't go to sleep to hide from a disaster," Mark explained, his voice calm as he appeared on the Federation's command deck. "We went to sleep to evolve, to prepare. The disaster hasn't happened yet." As if on cue, the long-range sensors began detecting something massive approaching from the edge of the solar system. The Federation fleet hung motionless in orbit, watching as humanity rose from its long slumber. Earth's surface continued to transform, revealing the true face of a civilization that had spent 2 centuries preparing for this very moment. And in the darkness between the stars, something ancient and mechanical began moving towards them, just as humanity had foreseen. The awakening spread like a wave across Earth's surface. Cryo chambers opened in perfect sequence as billions of humans emerged from their long sleep. Each one woke with complete awareness, their minds enhanced by centuries of shared consciousness. The Federation watched in awe and terror as humanity rose. James stood at the center of Earth's primary command hub, now fully revealed beneath the Atlantic. Holographic displays showed the status of every defense system, every installation, every awakened human. "Defense grid at full power," he announced, his words reaching every human mind through the quantum network. The Federation's ships tried to maintain their positions, but their engines struggled against new forces they couldn't understand. "Gravitational control established," Kate reported from her station. "Their ships can only move where we allow." The aliens' most advanced technology was being countered by systems they couldn't even detect. Tom watched from the Federation flagship as massive structures emerged from Earth's oceans. Cities built centuries ago rose on pillars of light, their architecture defying known physics. Mountains parted to reveal installations that dwarfed anything the Federation had built. This wasn't a sleeping civilization. It was a coiled spring, ready to unleash its full power. "You don't understand what you've done," Lisa told the Federation Council through a direct neural link that bypassed all their communication security. "We weren't hiding from you. We were containing something far worse." The quantum network pulsed with shared purpose as humanity coordinated its emergence with perfect precision. In orbit, hidden defense platforms revealed themselves. Not simple weapon stations, but reality-altering devices that could bend space itself. The Federation fleet found themselves surrounded by technology that made their most advanced ships look like children's toys. "We were the Guardians," Mark explained to the stunned Federation leaders. "Before we slept, we fought wars you couldn't imagine, against enemies you couldn't comprehend. The ancient warnings weren't about us. They were about what we were keeping at bay." Across the planet, humans demonstrated abilities that centuries of linked consciousness had developed. They interfaced directly with machines, processed information at impossible speeds, and coordinated their actions with perfect synchronization. The Federation's worst fears about human potential had fallen far short of reality. "Your mining operations weakened the containment grid," James announced, his voice heavy with purpose. "The barriers we built to hold back the darkness are failing. And now they're coming, just as we saw in our shared dreams." The long-range sensors showed massive objects approaching, mechanical entities that had waited centuries for this moment. The Federation Council faced a choice they never expected: stand with the species they had wrongly awakened, or face extinction. As the first mechanical scouts entered the solar system, humanity's true purpose became clear. They hadn't been sleeping to hide from a disaster. They had been preparing to prevent one. Earth's transformation continued, each revealed secret showing more of humanity's true capabilities. The Federation fleet hung in orbit, their crews watching in stunned silence as the sleeping giant they had foolishly awakened revealed its true form. And in the quantum network, billions of human minds prepared for the war they had spent 2 centuries preparing to fight. Deep in the Federation archives, Tom discovered the truth. His hands trembled as he read the ancient records, finally understanding the magnitude of their mistake. The data crystals showed humanity's last battle, a war that nearly shattered reality itself. The mechanical swarm had almost consumed the galaxy, stopped only by humanity's desperate gambit. "They didn't hide," he whispered to himself. "They evolved." The records showed humanity's final decision: to enter a collective sleep state, linking their minds together to process centuries of information, to prepare for the swarm's inevitable return. The Federation had been manipulated into breaking the very containment they should have protected. On Earth's surface, James and Kate accessed the old war archives, now fully awakened from their quantum sleep. The memories of humanity's last stand played through the shared consciousness, massive mechanical entities consuming entire star systems, converting all matter into more of themselves. The swarm had been pushed back, contained, but never truly defeated. "Show them," James commanded, and humanity's quantum network connected to every Federation ship and facility. The aliens watched in horror as the true history played out in their minds. They saw how the mechanical swarm had seeded their civilization with subtle influences, gentle pushes over centuries, all designed to make them break the golden rule. Lisa coordinated with the planetary defense grid as the first wave of mechanical scouts entered the solar system. The Federation ships tried to scan them but found their sensors useless against the ancient enemy. These weren't simple machines. They were reality-corrupting entities that defied normal physics. "Your civilization was engineered," Mark explained to the Federation Council. "Your technology, your expansion patterns, even your social structure, all designed by the swarm to make you predictable. They used you to wake us before we were ready." The council members reeled as they realized their entire history had been a carefully crafted trap. The quantum network hummed with activity as humanity prepared its response. 2 centuries of linked dreams had created defenses that the swarm couldn't predict. Earth's hidden technologies were built not just to fight back, but to end the mechanical threat once and for all. "You have a choice," Kate announced to the Federation fleet. "Stand with us, or try to survive alone." On their screens, more massive shapes emerged from the darkness between stars. The swarm had hidden most of its forces, waiting for this moment. They had wanted humanity awake, but not fully prepared. A miscalculation that would prove fatal. The Federation Council watched as their sensors detected more mechanical entities arriving every minute. Their most powerful weapons would be useless against such enemies. Humanity's long sleep suddenly made perfect sense. They hadn't been hiding from the swarm. They had been preparing to destroy it completely. The final battle began not with weapons, but with thought. Earth's quantum network expanded outward, billions of human minds working in perfect unity. The mechanical swarm encountered something they had never faced before. Humanity's evolved consciousness, refined by 2 centuries of collective dreaming. James stood at the command center as reality itself began to bend around Earth. "Quantum barriers engage," he announced, his voice echoing through both human and Federation minds. The massive defense platforms that humanity had hidden in space activated, creating fields that the swarm's physics-breaking weapons couldn't penetrate. The Federation fleet, now under Kate's guidance, formed a secondary defense line. Their ships, enhanced by human technology, provided support as Earth's true weapons came online. These weren't simple energy beams or explosive devices. They were consciousness-based weapons that could rewrite the basic rules of existence. "Target locked," Lisa reported as the first wave of mechanical entities entered the system. Initiating consciousness burst. The quantum network pulsed, and a wave of pure human thought energy washed over the approaching swarm. Where it touched, the machines simply ceased to exist. Their reality-corrupting nature turned against them. The swarm responded with attacks that should have torn the planet apart. Instead, they encountered defenses built from 200 years of humanity's shared processing power. Every attack had been predicted, every counter prepared for centuries in advance. The mechanical entities found their own weapons being turned against them by humans who had spent generations learning to manipulate the fabric of reality itself. Mark coordinated with the Federation ships, showing them how to modify their technology to support the human defense grid. "Your civilization was built to be predictable," he explained as they worked. "Ours spent 2 centuries becoming anything but." The Federation crews watched in awe as human consciousness reshaped space around them. The swarm's main force arrived, vast mechanical constructs that dwarfed planets. They had expected to find humanity weakened by their early awakening. Instead, they found a species that had used its long sleep to evolve beyond physical limitations. The quantum network expanded to meet them, billions of human minds reaching out to rewrite the rules of their existence. "We didn't go to sleep because we were afraid," James broadcasted to both allies and enemies. "We slept because we needed time to become what we needed to be." The defense platforms fired, not with energy or matter, but with concentrated human consciousness. Where their effects touched the swarm, reality itself rejected the mechanical entity's existence. In the final moments, the swarm tried to retreat, to scatter back into the darkness between stars. But humanity's weapons followed them, guided by the quantum network that now stretched across the solar system. The mechanical entities that had threatened the galaxy for eons found themselves being unwritten from existence by the very species they had tried to wake too soon. The Federation fleet watched as the last of the swarm vanish, erased not by violence, but by the collective will of humanity. Earth's defense systems powered down, the hidden cities and installations returning to their dormant state. But humanity didn't go back to sleep. Their long dream had ended, and a new age was beginning. As the quantum network gently released its hold on reality, Tom finally understood the true meaning of the Golden Rule. Humanity hadn't been sleeping to hide from the universe. They had been sleeping to become its guardians, evolving into something that could protect all life from the horrors that lurked between the stars. The Federation had broken the rule and awakened humanity, but in doing so, they had helped free the galaxy from its ancient enemy.